hoodlums don't own the streets. Go play in the park. Keep off of the grass. Get out of the house. Keep off the block. Get out of here. Keep off the oil.
Run, Forrest! Hey, stupid! Run!
Now, you wouldn't believe it if I told you, but I can run like the wind blows.
His name is Sylvester Stallone, but you will always remember him as Rocky.
And welcome back, everyone. It is 6:23, and we are walking the red carpet this morning, kicking off this segment with Nancy J., our film guru, and to look at some of our favorite Academy Award-winning films over the years.
Yes.
And we're talking about nominations that were released yesterday for the 90th Annual Academy Awards. Thank you for being here with us. And let's talk about Margot Robbie, who's in I, Tonya, someone who you connected with this year.
I've interviewed her several times, and I interviewed her this fall for a little movie called Goodbye, Christopher Robin. Now, this was about A.A. Milne and Winnie the Pooh. If you're a fan, see it. Didn't even talk about I, Tonya. That wasn't out at the time. It wasn't even in the radar. But just to show she's very human, because I, too, am human and screw up sometimes.
Take a look.
How do you describe Goodbye, Christopher Columbus? We'll start with the
Columbus.
mom.
Oh. When I first read the script, to me it felt. I'm sorry. I'm going to start talking gibberish, so don't worry.
I called it Goodbye, Christopher Columbus.
I heard that. You know what? It's not often that you find an actress, an actor, someone who has a real sense of humor and can go with a moment like that. And so we have to give her props. And that film, this film, I, Tonya, really getting some rave reviews. Allison Janney also nominated.
Yes, you've got to see it. It's wonderful. It's funny, but it's also sad. You get a real human picture of Tonya
And we should
Harding.
say that Margot Robbie is attending a lot of these events with the real Tonya Harding.
Yes.
They're playing the music because that means it's time for our next segment. They're playing us off. Let's talk about Christopher Nolan, nominated for Best Director. It's interesting, Dunkirk for him is a real turn in his film career and could put him on the map.
First time he's been a director, and I got to chat with him about how important Dunkirk is to him.
Yeah, first time as a nominated director. Take a look.
Dunkirk is a story that British people grow up with. It's I think one of the greatest stories there is, but it had never been told in modern cinema. And so for me as a filmmaker, that's just ideal. It's a storytelling.
And you might know him from the Batman franchise. In fact, he was a bit of a change agent because when Dark Knight Rises came out, it was shut out from the nominations, and so as a result of that, it inspired the Academy to expand the number of nominations for Best Picture from 5 to 10.
In fact, this year there are 9, and probably because of that expansion, Get Out made it in the Best Picture category.
Isn't that interesting? Not only Best Picture, but also Best Director, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Original
Best
Screenplay.
Actor. Actually, Best Actor.
Oh, Best Actor.
Daniel is
Let's
Best
take a look
Actor.
here. Let's
Yes.
take a look.
Do they know I'm black?
Should they?
You might wanna,
Mom and Dad, my black boyfriend will be coming up this weekend. I just don't want you to be shocked that he's a black man.
To say this is of the horror genre does not fully explain the depth of this film. And I'll say this, Jordan Peele will be the first African-American person ever nominated for director, producer, and writer, and only the 5th African-American director in history nominated.
This movie was made for less than $5 million.
And tell us how much it's raked in? 300 million.
and counting.
300 million. And so that may be a real draw for people to watch the Academy Awards this year. And we are going to continue the conversation here on I Am Still Up on Facebook after the show. Nancy will talk about Oscar snubs who should have been nominated. Wonder Woman was one of those. And also where you can see some of these films now, because they're on streaming services and a lot of people may be interested in seeing them before the big award show on March 4th.
And I am a bit hoarse because all I did was talk about Oscars yesterday. And of course, wait till you hear from me the day after the Oscars. It's my Super Bowl.
We'll still
I'll
be talking
screaming.
about it. Yeah, you and I on Good Morning Texas.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get over to Kara. Kara?